These antidepressants aren't working. I need help. I'm cold. Need cold medicine. So there's my dad. He was born in the silent generation, and he really looked up to people, the reputation of that era. But once Lot dies, on Martha Stewart, for a moment, she suddenly seemed to disappear. What was I seeing? My father, standing in her place. The fact is, they both had this untelling way about them, which might be due to the age they grew up in. My father didn't discuss things. He made rules to follow. He worked hard, really hard. He worked like a maniac. My father had one main emotion: anger. Then there was the accelerated version: rage. He got angry, and he slept a lot. He always went to sleep at 8 p.m. in the living room chair, just when our favorite TV shows were coming on. It was just in our natural reflexes. We wouldn't dare wake up that bear.
Hiding became a habit for me. I did not want my mother or father to look me in the eyes. I wouldn't pay attention to them for fear of being found out, of them sensing something different. I had been poisoned. I overheard conversations when my grandparents came over. I boldly hid under the kitchen table to listen to their conversations about San Francisco. I learned I had a disease, that I was sick. I didn't want my father to find out because I feared him, and I didn't want my mother to find out because I didn't want to let her down.
Yes, he was steady, just like his short hibernation cycles in the living room chair. He got home every night at 6 p.m. and had dinner with us. I had to sit next to him. There was no changing that. He was too sensitive to changes. One night I spilled mustard on my shirt. The sudden rage caught me off guard. He reached over the corner of the table and grabbed the messy arm. He eventually wrestled it from my socket and duct taped it to my chair. He was a good hunter, but I think he got his prey mixed up with his kin.
I began to hide in the vacant apartment in our house. Perhaps I could summon a spirit to take me on vacation until I was over 18 and come back home and just move out. Perhaps I could conjure up a spell and migrate somewhere warm like Florida until high school graduation. The house I grew up in always felt cold. It had no circulation. My mother had found a renter, a distant cousin actually, to move in the next week. I didn't know my mother's schedule until later, when my mother took our cousin through the apartment. They came upon my altar, sitting in an empty room. My mother went into my room that night, where she found and threw away all the books on witchcraft and grounded me. I went to visit this new renter with my mother, and I was surprised when she asked me to stay around and have tea with her. She put on some Black Sabbath and showed me her tarot cards. She had a pentacle tattoo on her lower back. She informed me that bright red hair was one of the signs of a witch. We both had the same color. I asked her about the exorcist, and she informed me I was a powerful witch and could always overcome fear. Of course, I was thrilled to have this new female friend, and she became a close friend who I could tell anything to. She was the first fag hag I ever met. I wonder if my altar had anything to do with her moving in.
It wasn't my habits that most annoyed my father. It was my gestures. Couldn't throw a ball very well, and I hated to run unless I had a reason to. I was pegged the neighborhood weirdo, you see. I loved it. I started then to realize then that I would have to fight instead of hide. That's when the rebellion really started in me. I had a driving instinct to be just who I am, and nothing was going to stop me.